and the children also being able to witness more of the violence because they're home all the time. And so it's very difficult. It's difficult to try and get help. Many people have lost their jobs, which also can lead, that financial strain can lead to more abuse, whether it's the child that's the victim or the mother or both. And as we all know, you don't have those mandated reporters that are able to see.
Right, right, right.
They're not able to see, and so that's what we're facing right now. Is that actually, if you look at the numbers, they're lower.
They're what?
They're lower.
They're lower.
The numbers are lower right now because no one
Wow.
can report.
That kind of numbers. That's what you mean. Because I'm like, wait a minute. Because the last thing I heard is that the numbers have spiked. Now the calls coming in have spiked, but the reported cases, you are absolutely right, and that is so skewed, right?
Yes, that's
You know, so
correct.
skewed. And what I've heard, and not just in the news, the fake news and the real news, but I've also heard, within the community that suicide is on the rise because of that.
Oh yes, absolutely. Yes, suicide is definitely on the rise because of that, and suicide is on the rise not just for those victims, but people who battle depression and maybe they were already on the edge.
Yeah.
Maybe they had even gotten better, but the loss of income, the loss of a job, the not knowing
Right. Right.
can make
Right.
people spiral a lot quicker. You're not getting out, you're not socializing. And
Exactly.
so you have to find that place. You have to, for all of our advocates, we have to try and reach out to them and do a wellness check
That's huge.
and check
That's
on,
a real solution.
yes,
There you go.
it
I
is.
mean, yeah,
If
you just
there was
said real
ever
issues, and that's a
anyone
real
who called
solution.
you, yes, if there was anyone who ever called you before, even if you know now that they're in a safe place and that things have gotten better, it's still a good idea if you can find the time, to reach out to them because they there's a lot of violence right now, which can be
Right.
triggering them. Doesn't even have to be domestic violence. Just seeing all of the riots and things like that can trigger people who've already experienced the violence.
Right. Wow. This is deep. It's really deep. And you're right. Just seeing all the violence on TV, listening to it, we never know what can trigger a person
Yeah.
to go back, well, to stay in that behavior and many times amplify that behavior. Those are real issues.
Yes,
Okay. And
because
I love what
seeing
you
the
said,
violence can trigger
wellness check.
the even seeing the violence. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Seeing
No,
the
you're good.
violence can even trigger the abuser.
Right, right, right. I mean, that's real talk. And many, let me just say this. Let me dive in. And Clemmie, you know how we do. Dive in whenever. Listen.
Yeah.
So you said a couple of things. You said wellness check. That's huge because many times us as leaders, us as mothers, aunties, grandmas, sister, and them, we know when they're, sadly enough, we know when there's violence.
Yes.
We know when domestic violence is happening in our neighbors' homes, our friends' homes, our coworkers' homes.
Yes.
We've a lot of times been the confidant for them.
Yes.
Okay. And now many of these individuals are working from home, to your point. And so seeing those things on TV might spark that assailant. Okay. Um, and so a wellness check, I love that. That's you gave us real issues and real solutions right to them. I love it. Wellness check.
Yes.
Call them up.
Call them up. Text them.
Yeah.
Whatever you have to do, to reach out to them and say, hey, I just want to check on you. Are you okay? What's
Right.
going on? Yeah.
Yeah.
What's going
Yeah.
on?
Mhm.
And in y'all's experience, I know again, and I'm talking to you as if I don't do the same thing. Ain't that funny? But in your experience, when you are doing the well checks and when you're checking on individuals, what are some things that you say? I mean, what do you say?
Get right to the point.
Okay. Okay.
And a lot of times I'm glad you asked that because a lot of people, even if they're not an advocate, they don't know what to say.
They don't.
The main thing that we always say, how are you?
How are you?
The only thing is that we have to take it to the next step because a lot of times, especially even me knowing that I'm a survivor, a lot of times that person may not feel as comfortable to open up. Maybe they've
Right.
opened up before, but it's hard to open up again.
Wow.
Because if things have already, if things were going good and now they're going back south, I
Right.
may not want to share it because I'm worried about the backlash of am I going to be blamed? Because what do you mean things are not going good? Everything was going so good before, which is a natural
Right.
reaction for you. Oh, wait, what's wrong? I thought everything was fine. But
Right.
for a victim that's going through it again, those words can cut so deep because
Mm.
it already shifts the blame right back. You don't mean anything by it. You're just genuinely asking. Well, I thought everything was okay, but we have to just
Right.
be very mindful and say, "Are you sure everything's good?" And then from that, even if they say everything's good, it's just a confirmation of what you're going to be to that person. But
Right.
I'm glad to
Right.
hear that everything is good. But I want you to know that I'm here for you. And so no matter what it is, you have to reaffirm again. And,
Reaffirm
no matter
again.
again and again and say, I just want you to know I'm here for you. If you ever need to talk, if you ever need to vent, I can sit on the phone and just listen. If you need to cry and you don't need me to say a word, if you need to scream, then you scream. Whatever it is you
Real
need
talk.
to do to get those emotions out. If you need me to call you and just me talk, because
Right.
we do
Right.
evangelists, so we have to talk. So I can talk a hole in somebody's head.
Come on.
Uh,
Come on. Come
you
on.
need me
Say it
to
again.
crack a couple of jokes, or if you need me to be serious, or if you need me to pray, and
Right.
you need us to pray together, or you just need an encouraging word, whatever it is you have to do.
Hold up. You need me to meet you at the corner. Look, I was about to say
Yeah.
something. Look.
Let me do a drive by.
Clemmy.
I do a drive by with
Clemmy.
my mask. Yes.
Clemmy. Come on now, Clemmy. Come on now. Look.
Yes.
Clemmy. What I mean, and talk. It sounds like there's a little bit of an echo. So if either one of you have your phone volume up, your cell phone, if you can turn it down for me. Um, Let me just ask you this. Clemmy, same thing. I mean, what are you seeing out there? I mean, what do you? I mean, the real issue and with these individuals where normally I know you tap in by going to the community centers and to the schools as well. Well, those are off limits right now. I mean,
Mhm.
they're
Yeah, I know.
they're not able to play
So
basketball. They're even taking the rims off the basketball goals
I
now. You can't
know.
even go to the park.
Yeah.
So, kind of what kind of wellness checks or what are things are you doing to still stay tapped in that you can share with our audience?
Well, it's basically like Natalie said. You do the welfare check yourself. You
Mm,
make them phone calls. You go knock on them doors anyway. Just because of the COVID-19 is out here, that don't mean you got to come out, hug on me and all that. But I still want to see you because I was just talking about today. Matter of fact, it's a neighbor I have like four houses down that I hadn't saw all week, and then I hadn't saw her today, and I will be knocking on her door tomorrow because it has been some kind of little abuse going on over there in that house.
mm,
And the porch light is still on. I mean, it's been on all week, last week and this week. And then
right,
far as the sex trafficking part, a lot of these teenage girls are missing, and some of them have ran away from home. Well, they ain't ran away from home. It's just like Natalie said, they have had everybody's been secluded at home. So you got a lot of time on that phone and on that computer now where these perverts has got them on the TikTok or whatever, Backpage, whatever these website is now, and just luring their mind into coming out them doors at 1 in the morning,
right,
or when they leave at 2 in the evening saying they're going to the store and don't come back. So I'm dealing with a mother now in one of my groups that her daughter left, and she's 13 or 14. And the last
right.
time, I remember when we was talking, the last time I was talking to you, I told you we had to go rescue a 19-year-old out of a hotel room where these guys had taken off the street. So by us being um, scared of this COVID-19, nobody's paying attention at what's going on right now. You also got a high rate of intense, right now, let's say intense domestic violence going on now with the relationship of the husband and the wives and the boyfriends, the mama, daddies, and all that.
Right.
I've already heard of four people that I know that's asking for a divorce because remember, we were so busy running and running, traveling, working
Right.
on the phone, briefcase, hairdo, makeup, and all that. I never really got to know who I really married. So
Right.
now we
Right.
feel. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We really
absolutely.
in each other's face now. And then I read a couple of articles of a couple that have murdered his whole family because he was like one of them he did one of them didn't die and he said they asked why did he kill his wife and he said because she wouldn't stop nagging. Well,
Oh
you've
my
been
God.
married 30 some years. This woman been nagging. You just didn't pay no attention to it because you travel a lot. She might travel, like you know what I'm saying. So we have to really be careful of not checking on who not only our clients, our neighbors, my niece. My niece
Right.
came to me. She had a guy that done came up to her, and I told her, you better tell him who your auntie is. Number one,
That's right. Nashville
because
peacemakers.
yeah, come on now, come on now. We
Don't
ain't
play with
playing
Clemmie
this.
Greenlee.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Don't do it. Look,
And
she's got
yeah,
family in
so
Georgia. Don't play.
yeah, yeah. And I'm
I'll
telling people
unwrap
all the
this
time.
turban in a minute.
Yeah, I'm telling them I have to loosen my Jesus collar a little bit, but but I'm really so sincere and scared. I'm wounded myself about what's all going on out here that we ain't able to put our hands on. We can't reach and touch and grab and hold like we was doing at first. And
Yeah,
then not only the violence with the domestic violence, the sex trafficking, the gun violence, the gang violence, the neighborhood violence, and the across the country
it's
violence.
just, oh my
Uh,
goodness.
we still, yes, we
Ladies, what are we
still
going to
got to stay
do?
prayed up.
What are we going to
We
do? What
still
kind of
got to
things
stay
can we
prayed
do?
up.
Number
We got
one,
to stay
prayed up.
prayed up, but we got to speak up. Everybody keep telling about stay prayed
Right.
up. Yeah, God got this, but God got some soldiers like me, you, and Natalie out there
That's
to
right.
speak up. Don't shut
And some
yourself down
soldieresses.
with words, not violence, with words.
That's
And
right.
that's what I would just like to see more of us to come back out and speak back out. Because
You
now we
know
were
what?
worried about the COVID-19. Let me just say this.
Okay.
We were worried about the COVID-19 since March.
Mhm.
I'm
Mhm.
counting down into 12 more hours because look at all of these millions of people that have came out and came together. So how we gonna do? How we gonna
Whew.
deal with it now?
That's a
All of
great
these
segue,
millions of
Clemmie.
people.
You know I got to dive on this thing, right? I got to dive
Go
on it.
ahead.
And I listen. I know, Natalie, you got something to say too, because all three of us, and we are three among many, many bold sisters out there that have been out in the trenches. Yes, and we have not allowed COVID to stop us. Yes, everybody's coming out and getting together for this to unite for this cause, which is an amazing cause. Imagine what we could do, and when I say we haven't stopped, we've been doing a lot on Zoom. We've been making a lot of phone calls. We've been doing a lot with these computers to tap
Mhm.
into our young people and,
Yeah.
meet them where they are. But imagine if post COVID, these same individuals that came together, like you just said, okay, to loot, okay, I understand, I just don't agree with it. To loot, to burn down stuff, to peacefully protest. I was out there peacefully protesting until it became unpeaceful. I was there. Okay. And when I saw those thousands upon people out there, I went, wow, what a resource. You know what kind of things we can do to shut down sex trafficking, domestic violence, and rape, like back in the olden days where auntie, uncle, cousin, and grandma and grandpa and them came together. I was about to say with they stick, but now we ain't got to come with no stick now. We come in numbers, but they
Right.
come together when they heard somebody was raped or domestically violated. They come together and not only that, but they would come together and have workshops. Back then it was just meetings at grandma's house and they talk and, those things happen. How can we get back to doing that without all the pride and ego? Because many people, I got to put it out there, many people don't want to unite with Natalie, unite with Denise, unite with Clemmie, because it's their idea. I've heard that so many times. It's the craziest, most catastrophic, most damaging thing I've ever heard in my life because it doesn't matter whose initiative it is. We
I lost that.
person, right?
Yeah.
It takes a whole bunch of leaders, pastors, ministers, doctors, dentists, lawyers, mothers. It takes all that. Trump ain't gonna do it. Obama didn't do it. It's not one person. It's got to take all of us collectively. So, what are your thoughts on that, Natalie?
Whew.
I know it's a lot. I'm passionate about that thing, right? We are.
I don't know how we can. Um, I'm not quite sure how we can get everyone. I mean, it's hard, like you just said, to even get the advocates to, collaborate all together.
Mhm.
We can make so much more of a difference if we could do a huge collaboration.
Mm.
That's just a task in itself. That's ooh, a challenge.
Yeah, it
Um,
really is.
but I want to go back to what you said about what will we do right now.
Yeah.
And like Clemmie said, besides just say that we're going to pray and talk about it,
Right.
right now during COVID-19, I think we just have to, besides our wellness check, also learn how to share online safety tips.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that's for caregivers, for youth, for the adults that may be suffering, just
Right.
sharing more and more tips, more and more things for them to recognize the signs, whether it's the elder abuse or teen dating violence or, children, just in the middle of COVID, there was a 9-year-old boy who ended up calling the police and he escaped. Unfortunately, his mother and sister didn't make it out alive.
Hmm.
But he did see the signs and saw and knew it was dangerous and was able to call and escape
Right.
from the house. So, you just have to have those things to let them know to recognize what's going on. Um, we also need to figure out how to provide strategies um, to increase the connection with the families and youth during this physical isolation.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, how
Yeah.
can we strengthen the connection? And
Are
that,
you
that's
all
the
doing
wellness
things with
check.
counseling? Well, recommending counseling during your wellness
Absolutely.
checks?
Absolutely. Yes.
Clemmie, you're doing that too? Recommending counseling with the wellness checks?
We just hired two therapists like probably about a month ago to bring
Okay.
to me,
Okay.
and they all coming in on my Zoom now.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Are you all doing workshops and any type of fun things on Zoom with some of the families that you come in contact with? Anything like that that you're doing to keep connection with them and
Mine's
give them
has
a fresh
been
set
more
of ears? And
intimate.
what'd you say?
I said mine's has been a little bit more intimate, just one on one.
Okay. Okay. Love
Yeah,
it.
I
Love it.
just do the I just do the Zoom because of the groups that I have every person third Thursday with my mothers, and I don't get to have them intimate like touching. And so by all the violence that's going on, they just really just need to stay connected. So I have like 12 or 14 mothers on Zoom
That's great.
with the psychiatrist every first and third Thursday. My kids,
Love it.
since I found out one of them was getting so depressed because they can't go to the mall skating and all that 'cause they don't understand that. We don't even
Right.
understand. We
Right.
isolated and quarantined. She ended up trying to commit suicide and had to go to the Vanderbilt psych ward. So when her mom and them
Mm.
called and told me that, so then I bought all of them tablets. So all 20 of them, it's 10 girls and 10 boys, 12 to 16. So
Ooh.
all of them can get on a Zoom with me now on Tuesdays and on Saturdays. So I can at least be in their face, talking to them, listening to them, crying with them. and something like that. But for workshops right now, all I'm letting everybody do is just vent. Everybody is mentally disturbed and traumatized with the storm,
Wow.
with the tornado. We ain't even talking about COVID.
Right.
See, we were still traumatized when everybody done lost their house, your bed over there in somebody else's house, your commode over there in
That's
somebody
right.
else's
The
kitty.
storm
So
in
we know
Nashville. That's right.
we got to quit forgetting that these people traumatized from our tornado we just had, and then it immediately went over to this virus. So we don't know which way. And so I
Wow.
got to let
That's
people
real
be
talk.
careful not to divide that line right there, and don't forget what got us right here in the first place. Waking up and your roof is gone, or waking up and your whole family is dead.
You know what, Clemmie? You and I love both of you ladies. Listen, so Natalie, one thing that you said was, you said right before Clemmie spoke was, um, we've got to make sure that we keep in front of them strategies for bringing families together. And then it sounds one of the things Clemmy is doing is she's bringing that, even though they might not be biological family, she's bringing those families together. And then you hear me talk about workshops because I'm, trying to keep their mind busy with different things. And so we're all doing things that's really going
Mhm.
to help. And those are things that we can
Mhm.
combine together. And I would love to put those resources on online, resources spoken from Natalie
Yeah.
Purley, who's an advocate for date rape and sexual assault and these
Mhm.
initiatives. And then you've got Clemmie Greenlee, Nashville Peacemakers, something that she does. Here's the call-in number for Zoom if you'd like to join. Maybe you choose a different day for people outside of those 14 to 15
Right.
families,
That would be
but we combine these
Yeah.
initiatives. Okay, go with I'm Power Global
Mhm.
for workshops that talk about, I don't know, if
Mhm.
you want to
Mhm.
own a business. We're bringing in a specialist to talk to you about that, about finances, talk to you about that, meeting
Yeah.
etiquette. Ever wanted to be a public speaker? I
That's
got
what we
those.
need to
All those
start
things are
doing.
happening in
That's
June,
exactly
and
what we
we
need
can
to
bring
do.
it together,
Yeah.
you know, and encourage
Yeah.
other women out there, other soldieresses. I know you've got Righteous Kia at Righteous Rides. You've got Angela Taylor. She's speaks from the heart as a survivor of suicide and so many different things that she's out there doing in the community. All these other people in Atlanta. I mean, we got Harlan, right?
yes.
Carolyn, right? So many other women that we can say, look, all these initiatives, let's put them together and put a calendar out there. I know um, I'm not sure what your websites say, but you can always send them to my website too. There's resources on there for everything that we're talking about right now. Because a lot of times they just don't know who to call, right?
Yeah.
And
Right. Right.
Ghostbusters is not a good option. And sometimes we're doing something else, and if they don't have a
Yeah.
relationship with God, it's even more of a struggle. Imagine that.
Yes.
So really, I think it's great to hear us talk through these things because prayerfully it's going to spark somebody else that's listening, another woman out there, because I'm going to full fledged push this video tomorrow. It was a little late tonight. I sent it out, but not as much as it's going to be tomorrow and Wednesday. But some women out there that have initiatives that are going on where they can collaborate and come together, right? Because we all have different
Yeah.
initiatives, but they're all
Yeah.
for this pretty much. They're all for violent crimes,
Mhm.
um, that we can come together. We've been on now for about, let me check this out real quick. I want to, there's just not enough time to talk about how it's just, it's got to be, we've been on for 38 minutes. And I know about 5 minutes of that was videos. So, what I'd like to do is ask you if, for closing comments, anything you'd like to say, like we said, real issues, real solutions, anything you know how we do when we've got that final comment that we want to leave out to the women that might be listening, not just the victims, but the supporters that are out there. Okay, what would you like to say to the leaders out there? What would you like to say to these, pastors and the family members? What would you like to say about this real issue, some real solutions? And we'll definitely be back and talk more. But what is your closing comment, Clemmy?
My closing comment is that I would like the leaders, the pastors, the community to take heed about what is going on right now with all of this violence. And remember, before another black boy or black man gets shot by a police officer, to get all of us routed up like we just did, we've been getting shot with blank bullets all along drowning up. So we got all of the homes and the mothers, the wives, and the daughters, and some little boys that's finna get beat, raped, and sex trafficked, and all of that now because all the violence that they had out here in the street all weekend has been taken into their homes. So this is over with them, quiet down and everything. I'm asking everybody to come back with that same energy and let's get back to the mic on checking on what we could do next. What is our next step? There's no such thing as going back to your 9 to 5 behind this right here.
Wow. Mic check. Hey, mic check, mic check, mic check.
I'm gonna go and drop the mic.
Yes.
My sister said, get back on the mic. Yes, that's real. I love it. Thank you, Clemmie. Yes, Natalie, give us your closing comment, my sister.
Well, I have a long closing comment. You know me.
I love it. Come on with it.
First, I want to say 1-800-723-SAFE, the National Domestic Violence Hotline. The Suicide Lifeline, 1-800-273-8255. And I just want our audience to think about it right now. Think about the victims right now that may be going through it
Mm.
during this pandemic and while our whole nation is going through with all the killings and the rallies and everything else. Please just for 1 second close your eyes and put yourself in their shoes if right now, for any reason, you had to call 911.
Mm.
Can you imagine right now they don't know if it's even safe to call the police?
Mm.
Because I don't know if they may come in and end up attacking me. When you think about Breonna Taylor, sleep. So if I was a victim and I had to call the police, who is to say if they may not end up shooting me in the midst of me trying to get help?
Exactly.
And so we just have to think about those things. So I want to say to all of the leaders, including especially our faith leaders, our pastors, bishops, and everything. I hope that when we come back together, we can find and determine all of the needs that needs to be done, and then we can find a way to stop it, stop the violence.
Wow.
We need to find out. I want to quote Abraham Lincoln. He said, determine that the thing can and shall be done, and then we shall find the way.
Mhm. That's right.
So determine that the thing can and shall be done,
Yes.
and then we shall find the way.
Love it. I got to give you some spiritual on that one. I love it. I love it. Where he gives vision, he's already given provision.
Yes.
Yes.
Amen.
Wow. Amen. That's awesome. Wow. Listen, I can't top that. I'm not even going to begin to. These ladies are awesome. And I tell you, they are fighting the good fight, okay? And they're doing it in a very strategic manner, not just strategic, very tactical, very intentional, all those all. They're doing all of it. And I want to just challenge each and every one of you that are listening out there um, to collaborate with one another. Just collaborate with one another. You know, there's so many things out there that we can do. Yes, pick up the phone and call, collaborate, call. It's okay. We on this phone all the time. That's right, Natalie. Let's pick it up and call one another and, put all that other stuff aside and just let's move forward. Those we can have late night meetings. We can have early
Yes.
morning meetings. We can have them in more than one day a week,
Yes.
very structured and intentional, and we can change a whole bunch of things. Okay, a whole bunch. Awareness breaks the silence. Awareness breaks the silence. And I myself, Miss Purdy, Miss Greenlee, amongst many, many, many more of you out there, are ready to speak up and speak out. We're no longer being quiet. We are ready to speak up for our young people, for our tenured people, our experienced folks. We are ready to be the voice for the voiceless, and we know that you are too. And so we're asking you, join us again in a couple of weeks. Next week, we'll have a counselor on, Dr. Audrey Day, and she'll be talking about kind of how to deal with this from a counseling perspective. Many of us, we talk about we're not going to see a counselor. That's not happening. We all need somebody to talk to, whether it be preventative, okay, or maintenance, however you want to call it, okay, whether it's something you got to do because it's urgent, or you're just being preventative, or you're being for maintenance. But she'll be on the line, Dr. Audrey Day, on next Monday, 8 o'clock Eastern, and we'll talk through some things. And then we're going to bring these two ladies back again in a couple of weeks to really talk to you all. We want to see the numbers pop up this time. I mean, we were a little bit late tonight, but we want to see the numbers pop up, some interactive discussion on the chat from the women out there that need help. You need help? Please get on with us in a couple of weeks or sooner. Call us. Go to our social media. Go to impoweryourpower.com. Go. You can find Natalie Purdy, Purdie. You can find her on Facebook, Instagram, all that. You can find Clemmie Greenlee. Blah, blah, blah. I got my tongue twisted. Clemmie Greenlee. That's Clemmie Greenlee. You can also find her on Facebook, on social media. You can just Google these ladies and you'll find them. So they are ready to point you in the right direction for resources. This is their calling.
Yes.
This is what they do.
Yeah.
They're passionate about it. They're survivors. They're advocates. They are your voice. We want you to be safe. We don't want you to be in those predicaments. We want the leaders to step up, the women leaders and the men to step up, give their time, give their gifts. In many cases, give your finances to these worthy associations that are out there that need your help, need you to volunteer. They need your donations as well. So please check us out in a couple of weeks. Before then, make sure you go to the website, go to Facebook, find us. If you need help, resources, please don't hesitate to call. And most importantly, pick up the phone and call 911.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ladies, it's been great. I'm so excited that you all are just always willing to serve. It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
My prayer
Thank
is that
you.
we have 15 of us on this, a whole bunch of little boxes
Yes.
in the next couple of weeks. And
Yeah.
we'll all have dedicated 10 minutes or so to really speak and then raise our hand and keep speaking on these issues. And we'll be on for a full hour in 2 weeks talking about this real issue and providing some real solutions. She speaks comeback.
Yes.
She speaks,
Yeah.
there's power in her voice. We'll see you all in the next 2 weeks. We'll see you next week with Dr. Audrey Day. So please come check us out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Love y'all.
We love you. Thank
The
you.
video's playing now, but they can still hear us talking. So it's awesome.
All right.
Awesome.
Y'all have a blessed night.
Y'all have a blessed night as well. I look forward to talking to you all in a few weeks. Please send me your information directly, and I'll put it on the website as well. And I'll also put it on the watch party information this week.
All
If
right.
that's okay. And I would love your quote, Natalie. Please send the quote
I surely will.
and those strategies that you gave, so I can put them
a whole
under.
slideshow presentation. So we'll have
Bring
it.
it on.
I have your numbers for you.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you all. Have a great night. Love you. Okay.
All right. How you feel? Good night.
Bye.
Bye bye.